Good afternoon, Budget Committee. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Kim Adlard, and I am the coordinator of the GTA Disability Coalition. We work in collaboration with organizational partners to advance an affordable and accessible Toronto that does not leave deaf and disability communities behind. I'm also a disabled person residing and working in Toronto Centre. Our city is home to hundreds and thousands of people with a range of disabilities. And along with deaf residents, we are represented within all cultural communities and live in all neighborhoods across Toronto. Distressingly, many of us continue to live in deep poverty because of highly inadequate income support programs, which are often referred to as legislated poverty, as well as the lack of accessible living wage work opportunities. I have personally experienced legislated poverty. While going through intensive cancer treatment several years ago, my employer at the time dissolved my position. I was then forced to scrape by on less than $1,300 a month from ODSP, thus plunging into disability poverty. Unfortunately, my story is not unique, and I can attest that unless you are independently wealthy, this traumatic loss can happen to you. And if you land here, you'll understand that this type of poverty is an attack on disabled people with a cruel message that our lives matter less. To be clear, disability is something that connects us all, as no matter how we land here, at birth, acquired, or through aging, we will all be disabled. It is part of life. But after reviewing the proposed 2025 budget, it is evident that the city will still be far behind in key areas that make a crucial difference in disabled lives, now and in the future. Here are a couple of examples. Poverty reduction programs. We are pleased that the city increased poverty reduction funding last year, but you must build on these investments as there continues to be a sharp rise of people experiencing income inequality, especially disabled folks. It is very concerning that the city's target for RGI housing approvals this year has been reduced by 230 units, which is going in the wrong direction. Here we join the calls to increase property taxes and implement new revenue tools to specifically increase funding to poverty reduction initiatives, which includes the Rent Bank, EPIC, and MURA. Shifting some of the soaring police budget towards supporting these critical social programs is another solution. We also asked the city to support the hard work of the Poverty Reduction Strategy Office in releasing the revised third-term action plan as it has been delayed for quite some time. This is quite problematic as the current PRS could have better informed this budget. Accessible housing. There's no mention in the budget launch document of increasing funding for accessible or adaptable housing that is also deeply affordable, nor any mention of funding to increase accessible shelter spaces for that matter. This is not the first time our communities have flagged these omissions, so we are left wondering why the city continues to invisibilize us. In fact, our partners at Social Planning Toronto identified in a pre-budget letter to Mayor Chow back in October that the city must fund more accessible housing programs and that the Accessible Housing Working Group's recommendations for universal design across all city housing developments must be fully supported. Lastly, I want to share a harsh reality with you. The number of disabled people who have accessed medical assistance in dying, also known as MAID, has increased over the past couple of years. This wasn't because of end of life was nearing, but because they were experiencing distress due to increased marginalization, such as deepening poverty. Therefore, we call on Mayor Chow and city councilors to pass a budget that does not leave disabled people behind by forcing us into barely surviving. We know this means that the city must work with other layers of government and urge you to do so our communities have barrier-free access that enables us to thrive. Let's make 2025 be the year that Toronto becomes a place of belonging for all. Thank you.